Welcome back to Win With Nabs. Today, we've got a straight up legend in the house, Shahzaib Rind, the King Khan of karate combat. This man's a two-time world champ, Pakistan's first ever global combat sports title holder, and a guy who's been putting his country on the map one knockout at a time. From self-training with YouTube videos in Quetta to dominating the pit in Miami and Singapore, Shahzaib's story is all about grit, heart, and a whole lot of precision. Fresh off defending his lightweight strap in January 2025 against Edgar Scriffer with a 7-0 shutout, he's undefeated at 7-0 in karate combat and showing no signs of slowing down. Shahzaib, it's an honor, man. Let's dive right into the King's reign. So before I go off into some of the stuff, I wanted to ask you, what inspired the outfit? Like I love the drip. It's pretty cool.
You know, you have to, like, this is my style. My style is different, so everyone has their own style. So I want to, whatever I feel like, if I see something, I feel good. It doesn't matter what brand it is or anything. I just see and then I like it, I then wear it.
I like to hear that. So you came straight from training. You're always training, you're always grinding, and that's really evident in your story. So let's go straight to the origin. You're from Balochistan, Pakistan, and you started as the #1 wushu fighter in your country with a wild 75-4 record in wushu and kickboxing. So for the fans at home, can you tell us what wushu is?
Wushu is Chinese kickboxing game. In wushu, you have like striking, you have wrestling. It's a mixture of everything. So wushu is a very tough game. I started in the age of 8 years old back in Balochistan. So let me tell you about Balochistan. Balochistan is a part of the world. It's like kind of village. We don't have any facilities. When I started martial arts, my wushu career, I was running on the streets without shoes.
Wow.
And we had no mats on our gym. So we were just training, throwing each other
cold, hard ground
on the floor. Like there are no mats. So it was very hard in the beginning. And you know what? All the best fighters who came and who dominated and who become one of the best fighters, they had nothing. A lot of people say, we need this thing, we need facilities. You don't need anything. If you have the mindset and you have the hunger, you want to do something, then you can do it without anything. So I started in Balochistan, and Balochistan, is a part of it's a part of Pakistan, and it's connected with Afghanistan border and Iran border. So it's like in the middle of there are a lot of things happening. This world doesn't know about it. So we have a lot of things. We have wars going. We have a lot of different.
Did you meet a lot of other people from Afghanistan and Iran there who are in the area?
Yeah, because Balochistan is close to Afghanistan border and Iran border. So we always have wars going on. A lot of things happening everywhere. You have fights. So I grew up like that. Since childhood, I was seeing everything like fighting, and fighting is in my blood. So that's how I picked the fighting. And then now I'm here. I'm dominating everyone. I'm undefeated. All my fights knockout. So I became world champion 2 times. And a lot of people, they don't believe me. Like, how can you become world champion from Pakistan? Coming from Pakistan, no facilities, no coaches. I was training. I had coaches, but I don't have the best coaches who know about the game. And I was sometimes I was looking at YouTube videos and learning from YouTube. So coming from that part of the world and coming here and dominating everyone. And these people, they have everything. Since childhood, they have the best coaches, they have the best facilities, everything. And so it's, facility doesn't matter. If you have the mindset, you have the hunger, you can do anything.
I mean, I think it's so interesting that you say all of that because like what you said, there's such a big perception now, not just in combat sports, but just in things in general. Oh, you need to have X degree. You need to be have the best coaches in the world, best facilities, all this money, and all these different resources. But the reality of it is, like your story proves, and many other amazing stories prove, like if you work hard enough and you put yourself in the right spaces with the right people, you eliminate the distractions, you just do what you need to do, ultimately you'll achieve any of your goals.
Yeah, we are humans. We always look for excuses. We say like, oh, I don't have money. That's why I'm not successful. A lot of people, they are like, oh, I don't have the facilities. That's why I'm not successful. I'm going to give you one example. Like if you take a Ramadan. So I was fasting in Ramadan. All day I was
Mashallah.
hungry. I was hungry all day. Like in my mind and my body was telling me, you are done. You are like, you can't do anything. But like I was hungry. I wanted to eat everything. If I see anything, I want to eat it. But guess what? When fasting opens, after like 13 hours or 14 hours, you open your fast. So fast open, in 5 minutes, you feel like full.
You're full.
So this is the world. In the world, you are like, if you are poor, and then you're thinking like, oh, if I get the money, if I get this thing, then I'm gonna be happy. But it's like, it's just an illusion. You got all of those things. You have the everything. You have the house. You have the cars. You have the money. And guess what? You are full. Like in 5 minutes, you're gonna feel full. Then you are like bored. Then you have to look for another thing. So this life is illusion. You have to be like.
I mean, it also just shows. I mean, fasting is just such a great time. The month of Ramadan is such a special time because it really just shows you how temporary some of the pleasures of this world are. I mean, you fast for 13, 14 hours at a time, and you break your fast. You go read Maghrib. You come back. I mean, what I love about the time is it's like what you said. There's so many people who aren't as fortunate, and it just makes you realize that like. There's so much to be grateful for always. For me, it's a little different, right? I'm fasting, but I'm not doing anything super crazy. Like even with my training, I always tone it down during Ramadan because I know I'm gonna get dehydrated or whatever. So it's not to the same intensity as you. But I'm like, I'm studying for exams or I'm competing at a competition. I was at a business competition up in Orlando during Ramadan that I placed in and I did really well in. But yeah, I was fasting the whole time. And I was like, this is hard. Like speaking while I'm doing this stuff is hard, but it makes you feel so spiritual, so connected within yourself because you're like, I'm doing this for Allah, but also just I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah,
right?
but it gives you like, your mindset, like your mind, like a lot of people, they don't have the strong mindset. For suppose if you're doing Ramadan, you are hungry and then just God is telling you don't eat. If you outside somebody tells you don't eat, you're not going to listen to it. But it is a bigger power, everyone, all the world, all the Muslims around the world, they're listening to it and they're just following the rules. So this gives your mind to be like more, it makes your mind more stronger, You can do anything, like, you are hungry, but you are not eating. But it may, like, it creates in your mind strongness. And then whatever, like, want to do, like if you want to become a world champion or if you want to become a successful person, so you can tell your mind and then it's going to start reacting. You're not thinking like, nothing is impossible.
Of course.
You start doing it. So this is the best part. And your body is like, we have to explore our body.
It listens.
Whatever you tell your body, and then it's going to start working on that. So.
I mean, it also shows like motivations change what reality is, right? Because like we said, versus, okay, you're doing it for yourself, a normal day of the year. Okay, I'm going to start eating healthy. Like people make all these pledges on New Year's. They have their New Year's resolutions, but 99% of the time, nobody listens to them versus just about every practicing Muslim during the month of Ramadan fasts, doesn't drink water, sunrise, sundown. And it just shows you like, the different in motivation, like I'm doing this for my Lord versus like, oh, I'm trying to be healthy. It just shows we can really do anything as humans if we just have the right motivations for our habits. We have the long-term vision. Like I'm doing this because I need to, and also because it's something I should proud of doing.
But it's good, you learn about your body and you learn about yourself. You can do anything, if you want. If you want to put your mind on something, then you can achieve it if you work on it.
So I want to ask a question. Right. So you talked about YouTube videos. So number one, who is your favorite YouTuber for watching all these different fighting moves? Right. So what were you watching?
I've been watching everyone. Like, it doesn't matter whoever is. Like if I'm in training, I go with the amateurs. I go with the pros. This life you never like, get full. You have to learn from everyone. I try to learn from like, if there's one guy, he came like just like 2 hours ago and you start training, still you can learn from his style. So the world is for learning. You never get the knowledge. World is so bigger. You have a lot of knowledge here. So I was like on the YouTube, always like trying to see from YouTube, from outside, wherever I go to the other gyms, I learn from them, pick from these things. A lot of people, they get arrogant. They say, oh no, I'm the world champion. I don't need to learn. They're just like, I'm done. I'm not going to learn. And they repeat those things. So then you will be like on the same place. You're not going to like, go up. If you like try to, every time you try to learn, every time you're walking, you're trying to learn something. So then you're going to improve. You're here in like 1 year, people are like shocked how you become like here. So everything is in the world, like not just sports, in every field, whatever you field are, you go to the guy, he's like 16 years experience. You go to him and you talk to him and like within 5 minutes, you learn like a lot of things. All of his 16 years experience, you learn from it. So this is the best part, so we have to be like open our mind. A lot of times people don't realize things, their surroundings. If you start like exploring, if you start like learning, tell your mind, so you're gonna learn a lot of things.
What you just said is part of why I think you're the world champion. I mean, just that perspective on learning is such a fresh take, especially given that so many people are so close, like my way or the highway, or I'm the world champ. So I don't need to learn anything from anyone else. That's like the perspective for a lot of people. Versus you're embracing it. You're like, I want to learn. Even from, I mean, I think it's crazy. You said someone who came into your gym today, 2 hours ago, and you're like, you know what? There's things I can learn from his fighting style.
Yeah, you never know. Like, some people, like you just pick from their styles. You're not like complete. Nobody's complete. God is only complete. We all are like humans. We bleed. Like, we have emotions. We have a lot of things. So we have mind. God gave us mind, and it's like very big thing. If you take it, like it's a very big gift for us. We can like put anything on it. If you want to be anything you want, you can achieve it through your mind. If you put your mind on the right direction. So like learning is learning is the most important thing. You always learn. Try to learn.
I mean, it also is like they say that when people get older, it's not like a certain number that you hit. When your brain starts to slow down, it's when you stop learning things. It's when people, I mean, for a lot of people, it's when they stop working because they get, they're spending time with family, but they're not really doing anything productive with their brain. But they say that when they stop learning, that's when the brain starts to slow down and function. That's when the cognitive decline happens and all the memory loss and all those different things. A lot of that stuff stems from people stopping learning and they're not immersing themselves in different things. Okay, so you have dominated Wushu. And you were 75-4, which is a crazy record. So how did your Wushu foundation set you up for transitioning into karate combat?
Wushu foundation give me like very my base is Wushu, because in Wushu, if you take Wushu, it's like striking, boxing, it's the complete fighting, skill. And then we fight, and then I was fighting in Pakistan like tournaments. You fight one night, 3 fights, 4 fights in one night.
What does the cardio look like for doing 4 nights in a fight? Like, how do you prepare for that?
It's very hard because you have to be always in the training camps. Because I was born and raised in Pakistan. Balochistan it's like mountains area. You have mountains and it's in elevation. So my cardio was good. Every morning I woke up for the Fajr prayer, and then I go to the mountains. I start running like cardio stuff. So it makes you like strong, very strong. So that's how it made me strong. But Wushu is like I was fighting in regional level, like province level. Then I started jump to national levels. National level is very hard, like national all over the country. And then I become like 7 times world national champion.
Is it that competitive in Pakistan? Like Wushu, is it that competitive?
Yeah, it's very competitive. It's like one of the best like playing sports in the world. We have like 80 gyms in the one city.
Wow.
So more than that. So it is very competitive. That's why, if you have competition, you become stronger. You learn from your opponents every time, single time. So I learned a lot of those things from them, and then I started fighting because amateur, if you fight a lot, then you can get the experience. Ring experience is different, and then just fighting is different. So the more you fight in the ring, the more you get experience. So I have been fighting like every single week, like 3 fights, 4 fights in a night. Then I went to I became provincial, selected for province team. Then I moved to national, and then I've dominated 7 years undefeated in Pakistan. For nationals. Then I fought, started my professional career. I came here. I found a management, which is crazy, how the world works. If God has something planned for you and it's going to start working.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. So I found one management, GOAT management. They, I reached out to them, and then they saw my potential. They saw I'm defeated in Pakistan and international. So they brought me here to America, work on my visas and everything. I came here. I found a karate combat, which is I think one of the best sports companies in the world, and it's growing very fast. We have a lot of the most elite striking, all the UFC fighters.
I mean, didn't Sean O'Malley recently sign with Karate Combat or something like that?
We are bringing a lot of of fighters coming from kickboxing world champions, MMA world champions, and everywhere from the world. So Karate Combat is the biggest martial arts organization, and it's growing very fast. And we have one of the best athletes in Karate Combat. We have now in Dubai card, we have very good fights coming, for world titles. Tyrone Spong, who is world champion in kickboxing. So he's fighting the Karate Combat world champion. So a lot of fighters, best elite strikers in the world are competing in Karate Combat. So I started my Karate Combat journey, and then 2 years ago, I started my journey. Everyone was in the beginning. Everyone was because I'm from Pakistan. Everyone was thinking like, this guy's not gonna go far. He's gonna lose his first fight. Then I beat one guy. I went to another guy. I beat the another guy. Like it's like that. Like I won 7 fights.
The upward trajectory.
Yeah. So everyone was shocked. Like, how is it possible? So finally in September, I became world champion, and then January I defended my world title. So everything is your mindset. If you have the right mindset and you have you do hard work, smart work, and you have the complete team with you, everything is possible.
So can we go back? Let's go back to September. Let's rewind a little bit. So you claimed the title in Karate Combat. Walk us through that journey. What was the fight camp like? What was the actual fight like? Walk us through it all.
Yeah, that fight was very hard fight, and the training camp was very hard training camp. I was training here in Miami. My camp was here. Asim, he was coaching me. So we had a very tough training camp. Like, every day you are tired, your body's tired. You don't want to wake up, but you have to do it. So I just training was so tough. We had one of the best partners with me, all the world champions in MMA and everyone. So they pushed me a lot because, it's not one person game. It's all about your team, how many people you have in your team and how much they're loyal to you and how much they're putting their efforts towards you. So all the team was behind me, and then we were doing camps because it was my first time fighting for world title, 5 rounds. In Karate Combat, if you fight 5 rounds, if it's anonymous decision, then you go for the 6th round. Mm-hmm. So in Karate Combat, we have 6 rounds. So that was big fight. I never fought 6th round fight. So I have to push. I had to push myself.
Insane cardio.
Yeah, insane cardio, because you never know. You never fought, so you don't believe in yourself. You have to go there, and then you have to show it. So I went there. It was very tough fight. I got dropped in the first round. Very bad punch. Like in the first, I think 30 seconds, everyone thought I'm done. I'm not gonna win this. I got dropped one time. Then I got back up. I got dropped again 2 times. Got back up. 3rd time, got back up. Like 4 times in 1 round. And then he kicked me like illegal kick. I was on the ground. He kicked me on the face. So everyone was shocked. They thought I'm just done. I'm not gonna. And you have 5 more rounds to go for the world title. So it was very hard for me. And while I was on down, I was unconscious. I couldn't see anything. This left side was paralyzed. I couldn't see anything. So I was thinking in my, because there was a lot of Pakistani people came to my fight from everywhere around the world. From Pakistan, from Dubai, from Singapore. It was in Singapore, from Houston, from Miami. So I was thinking, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. I can't lose. I was just telling myself, and my body was I couldn't feel anything. My legs were, when you got punched, you can't feel your legs. Mm-hmm. You were too heavy. I was trying to just survive, and I couldn't see anything. Everything was blurry. So I thought, no, I'm not done. I can go further. I have to push myself. Even if I die here, I'm happy. I can't lose like that. I don't have to give up. So the first round finishes. My coaches, everyone was shocked. I was looking, everyone was they're
How did your corner? Yeah, I was going to ask, how did your corner react when you came back?
My corner, and I was looking everywhere because in the Karate Combat, it's a pit.
It's a pit.
So it's a pit. You can see everything. You can see everyone. And I'm the favorite fighter, and everyone was I was I think 85% favorite fighter. So everyone was looking at me, and everyone was my fan. All the stadium came for me. So I was looking.
You couldn't let all these people down.
Yeah. So it was a lot of pressure for me. So I was looking during the fight. I was blurry, So I got the punch. Everything was blurry, and I was looking at the people. Everyone was holding their heads. What happened? Everyone was shocked. Different. So I was no, this is.
How do you fight and not let that pressure get to you? Because if you have thousands of people in presence, but also probably tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people across the world rooting for you. How do you not let it get to you?
In Pakistan, it was live everywhere. All the big channels in Pakistan, Jio Super, ERY, everyone live was, and there were people outside, in the stadiums. I'm first Pakistani world champion, so it's a big thing for Pakistan to just come here, and then for fighting for world title is a very big thing. So everyone outside, thousands of people, they were watching in the stadium, big screen, and it was 5 a.m. in the Pakistan. because
Wow.
of time
Because of the
difference.
time difference.
Time difference. So everyone was like, I said, no, I can't lose, because my family, especially my mom, they were praying for me. They were like, they couldn't watch my fight. When I fight, they're like praying for me and asking God to like, I don't get hit or something.
So your family, while you're fighting, they don't watch your fights.
They don't want, they are praying for me while
Wow.
I'm fighting. So I was like, everything was going through in my mind, like, oh no, this is like, this embarrassing. I was telling myself, my body, no, you can't, but I couldn't do anything, because, you got punched and then your legs are heavy, your hands are heavy, but still there is one thing, if you have the courage, you have the hope, nobody can take you down. So the first round finishes, I went back to corner. I was like still dizzy. They were putting ice on my back, and then they're telling me, they were like, I knew, like they were.
It was a rough round. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like just like silent. They couldn't tell me anything. They said just keep your hands up, because they knew I'm like screwed. So I went there for the second round. I started like coming back. Second round, I won the second round, and then still have 4 more rounds because world title.
And you're still, I would still very
Still-
dazed from the first
Yeah,
round. 'Cause it doesn't just go away.
No, it makes it more. The more time, it makes it more worse. So I was like feeling heavy here on this side. So the third round come, I said like, now I have to like push, because if I lose third round, I'm gonna lose the fight. So I started like just going forward, just pressure. I knew like there was one moment I saw my opponent in his eyes. He threw everything. He said, this guy is not gonna give up. So I saw he was backing up. I said, okay, now I got him. Then I started like pushing pressure, hitting him up. And I think I dropped him one time, and then he was, I saw in his eyes, like
He didn't have it
he's-
in him anymore.
He's now done, because in his mind, I broke his mind, because he was thinking,
I finished Sky in the first. I tried everything I had.
He
in
threw
him.
everything he had, like everything in first round to just knock me out, but he couldn't do it. So he was like, no, I can't deal with this guy. So I finished him in the third round, and I won the world title, like finishing
Wow.
the fight from getting knocked out to get knocked out. So it was the biggest comeback in the karate combat history. So after that fight, everything blew up. I went back to my corner, like when I changed.
Who's the first person you call after every fight? Is it your mom?
Yeah, it's my mom. Always. First
Always.
person.
That's a lesson for anyone at home. It doesn't matter. World champion, business guy. It doesn't matter. Always call moms. First person you should always
your
call.
mom is like
Love your mom.
Yeah. So your mom, my mom, she's like because of her I'm here today. So she's praying for me. So I was very happy, and I checked my phone. I had like blow up, like
Wow.
thousands of messages.
I would imagine your Instagram as well probably
my
blew
Instagram,
up.
Yeah, my Instagram just blew up. Like I was like, what's happening? It was on trend in TikTok, trend on Facebook. I was just like scrolling. I see my pictures. I get bored from myself. Why I'm like everywhere. Like so, it just blew up. I went back to Pakistan. I went to the commissioner of Singapore. She came to my fight. She watched my fight. Went back to Pakistan. I didn't realize it's gonna be this bigger. Like I went to the airport. I see everyone is stopped on the traffic signals. Everyone was stopped for me. And
Wow.
CM Baloch, head of the state, he came for me. Head of the army came for me. I see when I was like walking from the plane, they picked me up. And then on the airport, when I landed, I saw like thousands of people. Like all the media.
Must have felt so nice though to see everyone from your your country people, right? Like
yeah.
it's probably the best part of
feeling,
it.
yeah. So I see like flowers, and everyone's throwing flowers on me. We have like thousands, like hundreds of cars, security, like roads are blocked, like so head of the state came for me to pick me up from the airport, and my family was there, my father was there, my brothers were there. So it was just like another world, it was different experience.
That must have been such a nice feeling. So you you claimed your title in September, and in January 2025, this year, you defended it in a spectacular finish. So walk us through that fight as well.
Yeah, that fight was supposed to happen with Luis Rocha. I was about to do my unify my world titles, but then he pulled out, or I don't know what happened to him. He got scared, or something happened to him. Because he's keep pulling. I was supposed to fight him like 2 years ago, like 1 year ago. Then he pulled out. Then he came back.
I'd imagine that also, like, just in general, like whenever someone pulls out a fight, you're doing a camp, and I'm gonna imagine it sucks,
It's a lot
right?
of
Because you're
expenses,
working
you know,
so
you're-
hard, you're paying your coaches, and all this different stuff.
A lot of expenses. When I fight for the world title, it's a big thing. You have to spend a lot of money on your camps. You spend like like everywhere, like this coach, this strength training, this thing. So you spend like a lot of money, and then in return, if your fight got cancelled, you have to pay all the bills.
Out of pocket.
Yeah, so it's like very. So he did it for 3-4 times, and now finally we are about to fight in June 20th. Hope so he doesn't pull out again, but you never know.
So walk us. So in January 2025,
Yeah, so
you're going to defend your title.
Yeah, the guy I was fighting, he's like a 3-time world champion in karate combat, and he's #1 pound for pound fighter for the karate combat. But I know my level. I am different kind of. My level is different. So I knew like I will dominate this guy easily, and I went there. It was again world title fight. It was in Miami. All the people came for me. Like the arena was packed. Everywhere you can just see Pakistani flags. So it was packed. And then first round I fought with him. Like I couldn't feel anything. It was very easy for me because he was very big name. He was 3-time world champion, pound for pound #1 in the lightweight division. So everyone was saying like, he's gonna beat me, or I can't fight with him. It's test for me or something like, things. So I went there. I totally dominated the fight. He was just running from me from the first round to like 5th round. He doesn't want to fight with me. He was just running. I was throwing everything like completely domination.
So for that second title fight, would you say that because your opponent was probably harder in the first one, and B, you already had that experience of being in a title fight, do you think the second one was also a little bit easier for that reason? Because it wasn't your first time on like the world stage in terms of like a title fight.
Yeah, you get like experience. The most important thing is your experience. You get the experience, then nothing like, your skills, you have the skills, you have everything, but if you don't have the experience, you don't know like what to do. You get frustrated, your mind like, so you can't take things like that way. So if you get the experience, I got the experience and I got the people behind me. It gave me a lot of motivation. It gave me like a lot of confidence in myself. And then, now I can fight anyone, anytime, anywhere, or it doesn't matter which league he's world champion, whatever, the place, Karate Combat Pit, just come and let me know. If you want to fight best guys in the world, just tell me. I'm going to be ready for you.
You heard it from the champ. So since you are the champ, I just want to say you have one of the coolest names in the business, King Khan. So your name is about royalty and dominance. So first of all, where did the name come from? Did it come from Shah Rukh, or where did we get the name? Where'd you get the name from?
It came from my coach. He gave me this name because my name King means like, already I'm a king. So Khan is the same thing. Khan is always same thing like king. So it's a good name. They gave me my name, and it belongs to my people. So it's a connection back to my country. So that's why I chose this name. And it's gonna blow up now. Everyone's gonna know their name.
I love to hear that. So on that tip about your country, so your country's heritage and being Pakistani is a huge part of your story, from your Balochistan roots, that warrior spirit. I mean, you talked about wushu is massive in Pakistan, even though you didn't have like all the coaches, all the trainers, all the different things that people say you need to have. So how does that national pride continue to push you in the pit? And what does it mean to carry Pakistan's flag on the world stage?
Because I'm the first, we have, if you take American fight, there are a lot of American fighters everywhere in UFC and world, biggest leagues, karate combat, anywhere. Like if you take all the European countries, but for Pakistan, there is not many names. We have big, good names, but nobody fought in martial arts for the world level. So I'm the first one to represent. And it's not just myself, it's just for all over the country, from Balochistan, Pakistan, it's all over for my people. So if I go there, because I'm the first one, they don't know about the other fighters. We have a lot of talent over there. We have very like a lot of.
Do you think we're
kids.
going to see some of that talent start to
Now
break
I'm
through in the
bringing-
next couple of years?
Now
You're bringing
I'm-
them over?
Yeah, now I'm bringing a lot of Pakistani fighters to the pit, and they're dominating. Like the first fight, they started knocking out everyone. So I'm gonna bring a lot of more Pakistani fighters to karate combat. So the world gonna know more about our like background, because if you take our background, if you take Balochistan background, it's all about warriors. We always dominate in fights, always dominate in wars. So it's warrior background. We have it in our blood. So, and this is our sports. This is what we want. So everyone is like fighting since their childhood. So now next you're gonna see a lot of Pakistani fighters, and they're gonna be like more world champions.
So I just want to transition a little bit. So you have been training recently, in the past couple of years at Goatshed Academy. And could you talk to us a little bit about that? What's that experience like? What's the team like? And what's your gym like?
When I came, so it was my first day to come to America. I came here. I knew about Goatshed. I was looking at Instagram, crazy place, crazy people. Like when I came here, I saw like everyone was like different vibe, because in Pakistan we have different vibe. I came here, it's like just like crazy. Everyone is like yelling at each other. There's fights happening in the gym. Chairs are thrown, and everyone is like just like all the like crazy people in the world came to one place, and they're like, but it's good, like you got the experience, because we are in the fight business. In fight business you need like a strong mindset. You have to deal with all of the things. So Goatshed is like, I think we have the most like the best potential in Goatshed. Like
wow.
We have a lot of world champions in Goatshed, and then we have some of the best UFC fighters who are ranked in top 10, top 5, So we have all the youngsters who are growing up, they have the hunger. And then in like few years, you're going to see we are going to dominate everywhere. We are dominating in karate combat. Now we have 2 world champions from Goatshed in karate combat, Arturo and me. He's in bantamweight, I'm lightweight. So in UFC, you're going to see now we are growing up in UFC. We have like top 10 fighters. Jillian, she's in top 10. Eileen, she's in top 5. So, so a lot of UFC fighters, Dennis, all the fighters. So Goatshed is one of, I think, best places, like best gyms in the world, where you can learn a lot of things. Our coach, he has the most experience himself. He's a world champion in, kickboxing and stuff. And he knows like ground game, everything, like complete. I will say like it's a complete MMA gym with the most talented coaches, most talented fighters.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. So I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. We talked a lot about your fighting experience, but I have to ask you about what I think is one of the coolest things. You met one of the other kings. You've met Salman Khan, one of Bollywood's biggest stars, for those of you who don't know. And if you don't know who Salman Khan is, what are you doing? Watch some Bollywood films. And he's a fight fan himself. So what was that moment like? I saw the clip, but I would imagine this was really cool, right?
Yeah. So he was in my fights. He was watching like old fights when, for the fights, because I recently knocked out the guy in like less than 20 seconds. So he watched that fight. And then before that, I knocked out another guy, so I had like 3 consecutively knockouts, and I was fighting against Indian fighter. So he came to support the Indian guy.
Oh, so he wasn't rooting for you that fight?
Yeah, he came to it was Pakistan versus India fights in Dubai. I think it was April last year. So it was like very big fight. Always Pakistan India fights.
Always controversial,
always like
big,
controversial,
big,
and big, yeah.
clashing of heads.
So we had a lot of like my opponent. We had like bad times. During the press conference, I slapped him. We talked about my mom. He was just yelling. So we had a lot of like I was very angry on him. So
how do you not let that affect you when you're fighting?
It affected me a lot. Most of the times I'm very calm, in the fights. But when somebody talks about my family, it's gonna make me.
It's hard not to. Yeah.
So he was in the during the press conference. He started like talking, yelling or like talking. Like I said, that's okay. You can talk. But then he went to my family, and then he started talking about my mom, bad things. So that affected me a lot. Like I was like, okay, now I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna just do the sports. I'm gonna just go fight there. I'm gonna just smash you there. So Then I slapped him during the press conference because he pushed me. So I slapped him, and it became viral everywhere. Always Pakistan, India. So
Every sports confrontation between Pakistan and India.
It was like very, he was like representing his country. I was representing my country. So I fought there, and I knocked him out in first round. And Salman was there. He was watching the fight. He was like shocked. What's happening? Because he saw my last fight. And then I went there. He called me, like his team called me and told me like, come, Salman wants to meet you. I go there, and then he told me, bro, what are you doing? You're knocking out everyone in 20 seconds. And this clip goes viral, everywhere. So it was the best experience because, he's one of the best legends in Indian, film industry. So it was best experience. And there's one more thing for the Indians. After my fight, because everything happened, the Indian guy, he talked about my family. Then, it's not just a country. It's not a country. It's one person, So I went there. I picked his flag. I picked Pakistan flag and I picked Indian flag.
The unity.
Yeah, I tried both. And then when they raised my hand, I raised both flags. So it was unity. And I gave message after my fight. We are united. We are not, we are not enemies. We are all humans. So we have to be together. And then together we can grow. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So I always give peace messages. And it was for me a big thing I was thinking about it for a long time, because all the time we are in fighting. So this was my, fighting with Indian, that was my biggest goal, to talk, give message to everyone about peace. So thank God I delivered the message and everyone was so happy. And then, everyone got the message.
So usually towards the end of the show, we have a segment called Hitting the Speed Bag. But today I only have one question that I really want to ask you before I get to our final closing, which is, if you had to pick one, Halim or biryani? It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Both are the best things, but I will go with Halim.
Halim, okay. Yeah. There's nothing like a nice Halim. So you've had an inspirational story. You've made it from nothing. You've worked so hard for everything that you have. What advice do you have for the kid at home who's trying to be like you?
I will give advice, all the youngsters, nobody can stop you if you have the right mindset and you are talent means nothing. If you have the discipline, you need to be disciplined, consistency. Most important thing, consistent. If you are consistent and you are doing work every day for 15 minutes, doesn't matter, 5 minutes, doesn't matter, but it needs to be consistent. It needs to be for long term. The more you do it, the more you get better. And then finally, if you work hard, nobody can stop you. You will achieve your dreams.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on to the show today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.